You know that thing where you spend hours, sometimes even days or weeks, researching the perfect planner or app or system, and somehow you end up more stressed afterwards. Yeah, I do that too. One time, I even wrote down important meeting notes on paper at work, and of course, I left them sitting on my desk. Later that evening, I was working from home, trying to remember the details, and I just couldn't be sure I'd remembered everything. So in the end, I had to drag myself back to the office on a Saturday morning just to recover those notes. That's the kind of stress this trap creates. This is what I call the research trap. And by the way, this video is part of the Planning Trap series, where we uncover the hidden ways planning can hold us back one trap at a time. The research trap is when you keep hunting for the next fix, a new notebook, a new app, another course, even the perfect pen, believing that this one will finally give you control. And it does feel like progress because your brain gets that little dopamine hit from imagining the possibilities. But in reality, it just keeps you from moving forward. For me, it shows up in small but constant ways. Some days I'll write tasks in a notebook, other days in an app, and sometimes on my computer. Sounds fine, right? But the problem is, I lose track. I end up double writing the same tasks, and worse, I forget where I wrote them in the first place. And it costs more than just time. I've lost weeks switching between systems. I wasted money on notebooks, apps, and courses, and the mental clutter, that constant second guessing. Where did I put that note again? It's exhausting. And here's the paradox. I actually enjoy researching. There's something fun about testing a new notebook or app or even signing up for a productivity course. And to be fair, I do learn something from each one. Over the years, I've built my own hybrid system, little bits and pieces from all those experiments that work for me. Honestly, I'm more efficient now than I was when I was younger. So it's not all bad, but there is a hidden cost. If I don't keep it in check, research becomes clutter. It wastes money, it eats up time, and it fills my head with so many options that I just keep circling instead of moving forward. And here's why it's so hard to stop. In school, we were praised for being the most prepared, for knowing all the facts. At work, it's the same. You're rewarded for being the one with the answers. So of course, research feels safe. It feels responsible. But in real life, it's not research that gets rewarded. It comes from taking action, from making a call, and in the steps that push things forward. And that's the tricky part. I don't actually want to get rid of research altogether, because sometimes it really does help. But I've learned I have to contain it. Otherwise, it eats up my time, my money, and my mental energy. So instead of banning research, I set boundaries around it. I give myself a time limit. I only test new systems in my personal life or in small side projects, never in high stakes work. That way, I still get the fun and the learning, but I don't get lost in it. And for me, one concrete rule made the biggest difference. Always digitize important notes. It gave me peace of mind. No more Saturday office trips just to recover a piece of paper. And that's the thing about rules. They don't take away your freedom. They actually give it back, because you don't have to decide the same thing over and over again. What about you? What's the longest you've ever spent researching the perfect system? Just drop the number below. I'd love to see how far down the rabbit hole you've gone. So research isn't the only trap. There's one that tricks us even more because it feels like progress while it's happening. We'll get into that in the next video.